Thank you for joining us. Very good morning to you. It's a Tuesday, and it's time for us to take you on a trip around the world of sports. My name is Tony Ibichoye. Thank you so much for joining us. Yemi Adebayo is my partner on the program this Tuesday, and together for the next 27 minutes, Yemi and I will be taking you through what we have lined up, and it's a whole lot of issues that we will be addressing on the program this Tuesday morning. But Yemi, let me welcome you to Sports this morning.
It's a pleasure.
This Tuesday,
yeah.
It's a massive night of football tonight.
Yeah.
UEFA Champions League again takes center stage. Only one English team is left, and today they are going to be playing against Benfica.
Yeah.
But then a lot of interesting games. Apoel Nicosia, Madrid, and then games tomorrow as well. I'm sure we'll talk about that as we go on.
We've been having a feast of football, all week long, and it's still going to continue.
Yesterday night we had United going 3 points clear.
Yeah.
Very close game against
always enough football for the day and for the season and times that we are in, and it's getting exciting because we're going towards the end of the season and our competitions gradually winding to a close. It gets interesting by the day.
Yeah. All right. So also on the program this morning we will talk athletics. The local circuit is busy. Port Harcourt will be hosting the Golden League. We'll talk about that. Basketball also will feature on the program this morning. The Premier Basketball League games will be played today as well. And of course, we will touch upon some of the issues that are still on the front burner. The Flamingos qualifying for the World Cup. The Falconets looking to do the same this weekend against Zimbabwe. And of course, we're going to be looking at the Nigerian Premier League. What is new? What is happening around the leadership issues around the Nigerian Premier League? We'll talk about that very briefly as well on Sports this morning, this Tuesday. Okay, let's start off from what happened yesterday. Yesterday was a very significant day. The Senate taking a look at the decline in sports, not just football now.
Sports generally?
Sports generally. The House Committee on Sports took their own look at football, the Football Act. That was last week. But today, yesterday, I beg your pardon, the Senate did a more elaborate look at sports in general and why there's a decline and
steady decline.
And the Senate President came to the conclusion that it has got to do with the fact that administrators focus so much on themselves, a lot of bickering going on, selfishness, not obeying the rules to the detriment of the game. But I think that should be a very good point for us to start today. Let's take you into the hallowed chambers of the Senate, allow you to maybe catch a glimpse of what happened when the Senate met and took a look at the declining fortunes of sports in Nigeria. We'll take that report. We'll come back for more on Sports this morning.
It was interesting to see the assembly of top officials of the various sports bodies who ordinarily do not get along but were forced to come together to look for solutions to the dwindling fortunes of sports, particularly football. Senate President David Mark did not waste time in identifying what he feels are the major flaws in sports administration in the country.
There is a lot of bickering going on. In the glass house, Mr. A is blaming Mr. B, Mr. B is blaming Mrs. C, Mrs. C is blaming Mrs. D. You know that. Nigerians are the losers. The individuals who are responsible for this should think twice. They should be more patriotic and not that selfish ego. Because ego trip is what everybody is on. And at the end of the day, Nigeria loses in the battle. Interference in the selection process. Bring Mr. A because he's my friend or he's from my local government. There can be no federal character in selecting sportsmen and women.
The floor was then thrown open for the central characters in sports administration to have their say. The views range from inadequate funding to the quality of athletes and their coaches, among other challenges.
We are going for the Olympics in July. Up till now, we don't have the funding to drive that process.
High caliber of coaches distort the principles of short and long-term planning. If good coaches are recruited, they must be given enough time to effect positive changes and improve performance. 4. Insincerity of coaches and football administrators in respect of ages of players, especially at age grade level.
The supervising minister's view did not go down well with some members of the panel who believe that sports has the capacity to generate funds on its own.
I have not seen your efforts in generation of funds, what you did previously, and how you intend to improve on alternative funding other than total reliance, as you have requested from all chairs of government.
The Senate had mandated its Committee on Sports and Social Development to investigate the present poor state of sports in the country. However, the issues raised need to be addressed sincerely if the panel hopes to fulfill its mandate. Linda Kibe, Channels Television News.
Well, a lot of issues there, Yemi, and let's just pick a few. Let's pick a few of the issues that the Senate President raised. The first one has got to do with federal character.
That's the most interesting for
federal character.
Very interesting. I think, like you've said so many times, I think what obtains in other sectors or the way we run Nigeria, we should try and leave sports out. We should try and always, when it's sports, competence should be the key. It shouldn't be where you're from, who you
Where
know.
does federal character stop? In the composition of the bodies ruling our sports, there's federal character. In the composition of the coaching of the national teams, there is federal character.
I think it shouldn't exist at all for sports. In federal character is,
but then
is part
federal
of Nigeria.
character is embedded in the fabric of our nation itself.
Yes, but because we have gotten to this level, and we to stop the rot, I think we should allow people that are competent, just irrespective of where you come from, and you have a proven track record that you can do this job. Let's put such people.
I agree with you. For the athletes, your best players, if they are all from one state, no problem.
Use them. They are
But
Nigerians.
then, what about the coaching? What about the constitution of the boards of the Nigerian Premier League, for example, where the zone has to bring a representative? The composition of the Nigerian Football Federation as well, where the zones have to bring representatives, and a lot of concessions are given.
That's what I said earlier.
That's why I said federal character is in the fabric of our national life.
It shouldn't be
so
in sports.
Breaking it off would probably start from the top.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not enough for us to say, oh, there's bickering, there's this. We've said those things many times. The root causes of this is what we address. And it takes us back to the things we say about government will. Are we really ready? How far are we willing to go? So if we are willing to go, we can say, okay, let's start with sports. Corruption is a big problem, but we are not even talking about that yet. Okay, let's start with sports. Competence. And that will deal with a lot of issues. And by the time you're through with that, you discover that you have lesser problems. You understand? Now, if people who can handle these things are from one particular region, fine, so be it. If they're the ones that can do it, So I think, like I've always said, the problem in sports is a reflection of the bigger picture. And that's the way Nigeria is. So I think we should just leave sports out of political equations, and sports is the only thing that unites us in Nigeria.
Let's talk about the other issue that the sports minister raised, supervising minister Bolaji Abdullahi raised there, has got to do with funding. It's another critical part of our sports development. Funding. Government cannot only be responsible for the funding on sports. Government have shown over time, both at the state level with their clubs, the club that they own in the Nigerian Premier League, and at the center, that the earlier we begin to take the hands of government of the funding of funds 100%, the better for our sports. The football, the way it's structured, the club football, everything, they are becoming too heavy for government alone to carry. Very obvious now.
It's obvious, but you see, the government needs to help itself. I've often asked why you invest so much money into something
and not get the returns.
And not get the results.
And you still keep
and nobody
investing.
Is complaining. If I were the president, for instance, I'm not, but if I were the president, I would stop giving money, because I would want
until you begin to see the kind of returns.
And at some point, I will want people that can handle this and let me sleep. There are so many issues on the mind of our politicians, on the mind of our administrators, and it's unfair to expect that sports will always be number one on that list.
When sports should be able to drive itself.
Yes, and so whatever they are doing should just be putting basic infrastructure in place,
giving seed money,
monitoring
that the administrators can multiply, and regenerate to run sports in Nigeria.
And what competence does is that you can go to sleep, because whoever is in the saddle can take care of itself, and whenever you come into, you just overlook. You don't even need to breathe down their necks, because they know what to do and they're doing it well. So all you just need to do is just once in a while monitor, but not necessarily interfere, because you have people who are doing the jobs well. So I think competence because by the time you put competence, then corruption will be, you can fight corruption. Is easy to fight because anybody that gets there on merit. It doesn't know anybody. Nobody's going to give you a call when you're saying this man is not doing his job. Let us take him out of office. Is there solely and purely on merit? Then you can tackle the lesser devils we have. Mismanagement, corruption, and all of the other things.
So Yemi has identified two, and I think I want to agree with him: competence and accountability. Those two issues lacking in our sports at the moment, and that's why it looks like we cannot really get to the level that we should be operating at. And I hope that this is not just going to be another probe.
Yes.
I hope we begin to take steps at tackling all of these issues and getting to the root of the problem. That takes us to the next issue. And this is the Nigerian Premier League, the leadership issues around the Nigerian Premier League. I'm shocked that up till now, these issues are still there, unattended to, unaddressed. When we are talking about peace and moving forward, and it has to do with the issue of the Southwest representative on the board of the Nigerian Premier League, Akin Bobola, who yesterday, according to this press release I have, sent a reminder. I don't know how many reminders they are sent now. Sent another reminder to the National Sports Commission on his elections appeal. So he sent a fresh election appeal reminder to the sports minister. That's Akin Bobola from the Southwest on the board of the Nigerian Premier League. And the issues for me, we've said it over time and over time and over time, but it looks like somebody is just hell-bent on not doing the right thing. And when these issues go to the civil courts and the pronouncements are made, we begin to look for peace of the graveyard.
I think, first and foremost, I think sooner or later the hands of the sports minister will get tied because it's going to get dragged into this. And honestly, the sports ministry should not be dragged. We've said it, they've gotten the leeway for peace. And I think the FA now,
the NFF.
The NFF is showing us whether they want the peace to last or not. Their actions are showing it. Because I don't want the sports ministry to be turned into an interested party, because there should be a mediator. But at this point, if cases are taken to them,
and the football processes are not able to resolve these cases, what other options do you have? In
trying to solve this problem, whatever decisions they take, they will be seen as an interested party. Because it's definitely not going to favor one side. If two sides are in a disagreement, you take a decision, it's not going to favor one side. And at the end of it, they're going to be seen as an interested party. And once they are seen as whenever they try to mediate in future, they will be met with stiff opposition. That is why I think the onus is on the NFF now
to do the right thing.
Show us the direction they want our football to go. I mean, the hope we had some weeks back, some months back, is gradually fading away. It's gradually, because I thought that this MPL issue would have been on the front burner. They would have made efforts to sort it out. I'm not saying this is what they should do, but at least be seen to do something, be seen to be operating on the principles of fairness.
These issues are very clear issues. An election was held, someone feels aggrieved, made an appeal, and the appeal just somehow cannot meet on his case. And I don't understand. The football statutes are very clear about it. FIFA electoral code very clear about it. The status of the NFF very clear about it. Even the status of the MPL very clear about it. And somehow that appeal just cannot sit. So I've never had it before. Even the presidential elections in Nigeria, people will appeal.
Definitely.
And the appeal will sit, and at the end of the day, justice will be seen to be done.
Will be heard.
But in the MPL matter, somebody just sat on the appeal and said this appeal will not sit. But as you said, this is a chance for the NFF to show us the direction that they are headed.
Exactly.
Whether it's the peace of the graveyard as some people think, or whether this is going to be lasting peace. So it's really left for the NFF to sort out that issue as quickly as possible. And that's why I think this Akin Bobola has lost interest in going to the NFF, because he's written several petitions to them. Nothing appears to be done, and it's going to the sports ministry.
I agree with an eminent personality. I don't want to mention his name. That said, we have opened the leeway for some people to go to court. I mean, there's nothing that stops this man from going to court.
If the football processes are not resolving his issues,
if he's not going to get justice. If he's not going to get justice. What I'm saying, I don't know what the desired outcome would be or should be, but at least listen to the appeal and all this backlog of cases, people that feel aggrieved. I'm not saying you should give them a Greek gift, because some people have called some things. I'm not saying give them a Greek.
Some people have been settled.
Yeah, but I'm not saying give them a Greek gift. But all I'm saying is that solve these issues so that you don't have people breathing down your necks.
It's simple. They lay down procedures of football, the statutes of football, take care of all of these things. Let's follow them to the letter, and I'm sure we will arrive at some positive response. All right, that's it for that part of the show. Already our time is fast spent, but the Flamingos, talking about the Flamingos qualified for the World Cup, the team has been disbanded, well, temporarily. They've been told to go home. They will reconverge in a few weeks, and after the victory over the Zambians are crying blue mother that we paraded girls. They didn't raise this kind of issues when they lost 2-1 at home with the same set of girls. Suddenly now our girls have become mamas and old girls, and they just can't believe that the 5-0 loss. Maybe if they had lost this game at home by as much as 7, the story probably would have been different.
Well, I'm a Nigerian, so I'm going to say this. I think the coach, the Chipolopolo coach,
should accept defeat.
She said she said what she said even when they lost the first one. Even when they lost the first leg.
Okay.
And she became angrier when they lost by that margin. And I'm seeing our girls do awesome things with the ball, and God help us if they are 17. If they are 17, we have reasons to be if they are 17, we have reasons to rejoice. But I look at this and being a Nigerian,
you ask yourself questions again.
I can't honestly tell myself that these girls are 17.
Well, that's Yemi's opinion on the program this morning, and the only ones who can prove to us and convince us that these girls are not 17 are the parents. And until we are able to see those parents and they tell us that these girls are not,
that will not be enough.
Yeah, all right.
I can tell you I'm 20.
No. When your mom tells you that you're
she
20.
Can. If I have a chance, if there's a chance of me getting a better place.
If your mom tells me that you are 20, I'm going to believe what she says, because I believe her integrity.
Okay.
That she gave birth to you and she knows exactly how old you are. So if the parents of these girls come out to say that their girls are 17, who are we to doubt?
Okay.
Unless if maybe someone is bold enough,
you give her the benefit
to
of the doubt.
come out and tell us that, look, this my girl is not 17, she's older than 17, then we have to work with whatever we have. All right, but these issues are very, very complex, and there's very little you can do about it if the system is not allowing us to get to the truth and get to the root of all of these issues. Let's go to the papers now very quickly and check out what the papers have for us. Plenty to talk about from the papers, and the Complete Sports is the first one. Sad Taiwo vows to rescue QPR. Eagles defender trailed by first EPL goal. Taiwo joined Queen's Park Rangers just at the beginning of this season. He already has a goal in the English Premier League, and that's good for him. You can read up other stories on the front page of Complete Sports. Keshi wants Egypt friendly to prepare for tough June. We talked about it yesterday. We are going to be playing tough games in June, 3 games in 3 weeks. Kaduna will host 2 of the games, and Blantyre will be venue for 1 of the games. But we have friendly games against Egypt. Next month, we have friendly game against Peru as well. Other stories: Emenike faces probe over obscene gestures in Russia. Will be voted Inter most valuable player against Juventus. That's the kind of story we like to read. Our players playing in.
They are doing well and shining bright.
Shining bright. Chelsea seek £100 million Ronaldo swap. That's interesting. You can get a copy of Complete Sports for the details. Soccer Star is the next one. Why I picked Kaduna for Rwanda tie. Super Eagles coach Stephen Keshi. You can read that up. Upwell aims for miracle win over Real. Miracles do happen in football, but will they happen today? We'll wait to see. A Kigo show of Club Survivor is also on the front page. Russia Federation seek for Emenike's probe. You can get a copy of Soccer Star this morning and read up the details. Falconers get new captain. Is also there. The Falconers will be playing this weekend in Abeokuta, where the Flamingos pick the World Cup ticket over the weekend. All right, so you can get a copy of Soccer Star and read up the details very, very quickly on sports this morning. We still have some papers for review, and I hope we will be able to see it on the screen. Sports Day is the next one. Sports Day says Keshi ready for Egypt friendly. Well, that's it on your screen. Keshi ready for Egypt friendly. Rooney fire Man United back on top. 3 points clear now. Bradley, that's the coach of Egypt, has recalled Abu Trika for the Eagles friendly next month. So they're taking it very seriously. Mwamba out of bed, eats in hospital. Let's go to Sporting Life. Keshi cries. 12 June. Mixed Keshi cries. Set to write NFF over Sydney Sam. You can read up the details. This job is a difficult job. So get ready.
Very tasking.
Yeah, after the 12 games in June, you will have some break.
Yeah.
And go on vacation if you like, but prepare for those tough games. Endless bickering ruins Nigerian sports. That's David Mark who brought you the picture. Ego, lack of fund, governance, bane of sports. That's Bolaji Abdullahi. You can read it through the Sporting Life this morning. Russia Federation to investigate. Emenike is also there on the front page of Sporting Live. Messiah, Javi tip to succeed Guardiola. Metro Sports, Chelsea seek to end Benfica run. It's going to be a difficult game. We'll talk about it very soon. June fixtures will be tough. Madrid gone for first leg boost at Apoel. And racism, Emenike on trial in Moscow. Aluko hails wonder goal against Celtic. Man United back on top. You can get a copy of Metro Sports this morning. Read up all the details and get updated with what it has to offer you this Tuesday. We still have Arsenal Focus. Yemi, go and get a copy of Arsenal Focus. We're not going to talk too much about this. It's for Arsenal fans. Wenger, it will be Gunners season. No. Okay? They're already talking about next season. And this season is even not over yet. But you can get a copy of Arsenal Focus, particularly if you're an Arsenal fan, and read up all that it has to offer you this Tuesday. It's a lie. I don't dodge Eagles matches. Mikel vows to reclaim Eagles shirt. You can read that up as well on the front page of Arsenal Focus. I think it's a weekly. And the last one, San Siro Showdown tomorrow.
Very colorful.
League. Yeah, very colorful. International soccer. Milan Barca set to rock Europe to its foundation in no holds barred battle at the Stadio Giuseppe Meazza. You can read up all of that from international
very,
soccer.
Very big games all across.
Inter sacked Ranieri. Ranieri has been sacked. Someone said
it was bound to happen. It was bound to happen.
He's sacked virtually everywhere he goes. That's not a good record.
Chelsea.
But he keeps getting the job.
Yeah.
You get another job, gets fired,
Chelsea,
gets the
Roma,
job, gets fired.
Chelsea, Roma, Valencia.
Everywhere.
At some point, Juventus.
Everywhere is gone. He's been fired. That's the story of Claudio Ranieri. All right, let's go on very quickly and talk UEFA Champions League. Let's start by showing you the fixtures of games. 2 games will be played today, Yemi, and then 2 games also will be played tomorrow. Today's games, they have Apoel Nicosia, Real Madrid, Benfica against Chelsea. Tomorrow, Marseille against Bayern, AC against Barcelona. All eyes, of course, will be on that last game tomorrow. But let's talk about today's games first.
Yeah, Apoel Nicosia, Real Madrid, classic David and Goliath theory. It's only going to be news if Apoel beats Real Madrid. Everybody expects Real Madrid to beat Apoel Nicosia, but Apoel Nicosia are playing at home. Has been a good hunting ground for them. They've got some good results. Got the Scarp of Leon on that field. Maybe it can happen. We'll wait and see. Benfica Chelsea is evenly poised. Anything could happen. Chelsea have not been, last 2
not exactly the Chelsea of 2-3 seasons ago,
or the Chelsea that the way they played against Napoli, everybody expected that. They've not been doing that. So, and Benfica do have experience now. They took out, they played Man United in the group stage. We saw how they, prosecuted those games,
organized themselves, and got the results.
So but my mind says Chelsea do have enough in them to, based on the disappointment in the league, will fire them on. And for Wednesday's games,
Marseille
Bayern is evenly poised. Forget what people tell you. If Marseille do get a decent result from the first leg, Bayern Munich might just be out. They might probably not have the chance they got against Basel. AC Milan, Barcelona, game of the month for me. They've played in the group stages, and
all their games were close games.
It was very interesting. Forget the fact that Barcelona dominated those games, but the scoreline shows that it was very close.
Okay, so that's it for the UEFA Champions League. Plenty of action tonight and tomorrow as well. Let's talk basketball very quickly. Over the weekend, the DSTV Premier Basketball League Week 5. The results are shown on your screen. Union Bank, 2 points win over Custom. Very close game it was, 67-65. Islanders lost 58-70 to Comets. Today, the Down Warriors will be taking on Chariots. Royal Opals will be taking on Union Bank. These are games from the Atlantic Conference. From the Savannah Conference, it was Yewa Hawks 67, Top Gun Rockets 62, Bauchi Nets 65, Civil Defenders 35. That was a 20 points game. Immigration 65, Niger Borders 54, and then the game between Cadatos and Kano Pillars, interestingly, got aborted when power went out, and because you can't play basketball in darkness. So we wait to see whether that game will be replayed entirely, or whether the last quarter will just be played out. That's for basketball. All right, so we'll keep you posted once we have information around that game and let you know what is going on. Let's talk athletics very quickly, Yemi. The AFN, that's the Athletics Federation of Nigeria, have told us that the first leg of the Golden League is starting from the University of Port Harcourt. That's where it will hold. Port Harcourt benefiting from hosting the National Sports Festival, so facilities are in place. Yeah, I mean, they don't need too much preparation because everything is in place. I think they need coordination and, you know, a bit of planning, but infrastructure, basic infrastructure is already on the ground. Yeah, and that's a good one. And let's close the show by telling you about yesterday in the English Premier League. Manchester United have gone 3 points clear, Wayne Rooney with the goal at the crucial part of the season, so it's looking very decent for United now. And they just need to keep this momentum going, put a lot of pressure on Manchester City. That derby may not be needed after all. Yeah, it may not, especially if City sleep. But if City do not sleep and City get to win the game in April, it could turn everything around. All right, so that's how we have to wrap it up on Sports This Morning, this Tuesday. Thank you for watching.